Hello everyone. Welcome back to Sustainable Living with Shilpa Reddy, powered by Planet Green's Farm Natura, a new beginning to your life. Today on yet another episode of Kankatala Q&A with Shilpa, I will be addressing a few of the queries you have sent across to us. Following the tradition, today I am wearing a Kota sari. The humble Kota is also known as Kota Doria. Comes from Kota in Rajasthan and parts of Uttar Pradesh in India. Doria means the thread. Mostly weaved in the pure cotton or silk, ideally woven in bright and pastel colors, suitable for tropical climates. Simple yet chic and fashionable. The weave makes the fabric very breathable. The khat or the checkered pattern is a signature style of Kota. This is extremely fine weave and weighs very less. Before being weaved, the yarns are smeared in onion juice and rice paste. This not only makes the yarn strong but also gives a lovely finish, requiring no additional finishing. Kota is woven using the Jamdani technique, where there are no loose threads at the back side. Jamdani gives a wider scope for the weavers to create any designs of his choice. Relatively, this is a new technology. Rather than slaughtering animals, scientists use the animal's stem cells to create meat. Stem cells are the building blocks of cells and tissues, and by feeding them amino acids and carbohydrates, the muscle cells will be multiplied and grown in the lab. Once muscle fibers start growing, the result is an artificially created meat that resembles actual meat in terms of appearance, texture, and nutrient profile. Lab-grown meat is more eco-friendly as compared to regular meat. It eliminates the need for livestock, which could reduce the use of energy by as much as 45%, reduces the use of land by 99%, and produces up to 96% fewer greenhouse gases. It will also be animal-friendly as no animals will be harmed or treated unethically. However, it is a relatively new and extensive research is underway. It might take a couple of years for us to understand it better. Rainwater harvesting is collecting the runoff from a structure or other impervious surface in order to store it for later use. Traditionally, this involves harvesting the rain from a roof. The rain will collect in gutters that channel the water into downspouts and then into some sort of storage vessel. Rainwater collection systems can be as simple as collecting rain in a rain barrel or as elaborate as harvesting rainwater into large cisterns to supply your entire household demand. As I said, borewell is not necessary for rainwater harvesting. All you require is any vessel or pit or something of that kind to store water. There are different methods of rainwater harvesting. Most common are surface runoff harvesting and rooftop rainwater harvesting. Animal manures have always been an integral part of our agriculture and is an amazing source of nutrients that make soil conducive for plants to grow. Animal manure, when integrated into a crop fertility program, will benefit soil chemical properties and reduce the concerns illustrated above. Those benefits vary depending on the composition of the amendment. In general, the most important immediate effect is the addition of nutrients. Manure can fulfill a significant amount of the crop nutrient requirements for nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and micronutrients. In fact, soil is called soil only when there is enough organic content from plants and animals, or else it's just sand. On an average, there are 39 inches of topsoil in the world. Almost all life happens because of these 39 inches. Right now, the distress of our agricultural situation is because the soil is so poor. The question is, why did it become poor? You can keep the soil rich only by putting organic content back into it. This has got nothing to do with vegans or vegetarians, as animal wastes are not directly used as manure. For example, animal waste like cow dung can be used to prepare organic fertilizers. By covering the manure with polythene, it can also be turned into organic fertilizer. There have been extensive debates surrounding the growing methods of hydroponics and soil. These discussions range from the most sustainable growing methods to highest yields to the best nutrition value and taste. The taste of hydroponic grown fruits and vegetables can differ from the flavor of soil grown crops. However, the primary factors impacting the flavor of plants is in regards to their sun exposure, water quality and nutrient type. Growers can alter the flavor of the plant by adding specific nutrients and managing exposure to the elements during growth. Hydroponics food does often taste different than plant grown in soil. However, even different types of soil produces different tasting plants. Although the flavor of the food we eat can be subjective to discussion. Vermicomposting is a quick, efficient way to convert kitchen scraps into a rich soil amendment using earthworms. Vermicompost worms break down organic matter such as kitchen scraps into waste products called castings. Although castings may be waste to the worms, they are rich treasures for gardeners. Vermicompost is richer in essential plant nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium than traditional compost. It also contains microbes that help the plants to grow. The best type of worms for vermicomposting are red wrigglers and red worms. These two species make great worms for the compost bin because they prefer a compost environment to plain soil and they are very easy to keep. Worms that feed on vegetable waste, compost and organic bedding produce richer castings than those that feed on plain soil. Bottomless bins are one type of vermicomposting system which is used for building earthworm boxes. You can also use plastic containers, wooden boxes or even bamboo, avoiding containers of metal which leads and leaches into the soil and increases the metal concentrations. I agree, organic food and products do cost more. This higher price point is partially because of limited supply and less yield per hectare. It is also partly because organic farming practices are just more costly. Yet, buying organic at least some of the times is more doable than people think it is. While organic prices may appear more expensive today, that won't always be the case. Shifts in the global economy stands to close the gap between the conventional and organic product. They have artificially low pricing, dependent on the brief and quickly ending era of cheap fossil fuels, a relatively stable climate cycle, and government policies that benefit large-scale monocrop farming. Also, with SustainCart, our new venture, we are planning to make sustainable and organic products available for all sections of the society. Glass is sustainable, fully recyclable material which provides great environmental benefits such as contributing to mitigating the climate change and saving precious natural resources. It is also highly appreciated in many applications for its inert nature and its contributions to safeguarding people's health and well-being. We promote glass because it can fully be sterilized. It's 100% endlessly recyclable, which means that recycled glass is always part of the recipe for glass. Glass has the best barrier protection versus any alternative packaging material. The more recycled glass used, the less energy is wasted to create new glass. A menstrual cup is a flexible cup made of medical grade silicone or rubber which sits in the vagina and collects blood, unlike cloth, sanitary pads and tampons which absorb blood. Some cups are long-lasting and reusable, while others are disposable. Tampons, pads and panty liners, along with their packaging and individual wrapping, generate more than 200,000 tons of waste per year. And they're all containing plastic. In fact, pads are around 90% plastic. Menstrual cups are not just sustainable in nature, but eco-friendly as well. Unlike sanitary napkins or tampons, they do less damage to the environment. Vegans avoid eating all animal products, including meat, eggs and dairy. They also don't eat food that has an animal source like gelatin and honey. For many, veganism is about more than food choices. People choose to be vegan for health, ethical or environmental reasons. As a vegan, you can have a lifetime of good health. However, this requires making balanced choices. Try not to indulge in junk foods. You should eat high quality foods with nutrients your body needs. Keep an eye out for signs of nutritional problems. This includes changes in your weight, skin or hair. If you have questions or concerns, talk to your family doctor. If you have special health needs such as diabetes, consult your doctor before starting any new diet. They can help you with the best nutritional choices for your health. Aquaponics is a blend of hydroponics and aquaculture. This is a new and innovative idea, although has been around for centuries. How to make aquaponics more profitable? Grow the plants that are costlier in your region to counterbalance the expenses of energy and the resources. You need to do proper research on the seasonal prices in your area before you build your system. You can yield profit from tomatoes and specialty crops like yellow peppers and basil and other herbs that support such a greenhouse. But you have some limitations as you cannot grow any grain crops like wheat and corn better suited for an open field. You can grow more food in less space as plants needs less space while growing very close to each other in aquaponics hydroponic greenhouses. Hope you find this informative. If you have any further queries or questions for us, do drop them in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more updates. Signing off, Shilpa Reddy.